The U.S. just attempted a major power play at the UN upon the passing of a resolution demanding the creation of a so-called registrar for documenting the physical destruction in Ukraine caused by Russia's special operation, and then the creation of a complementary mechanism for forcing Moscow to pay. So here's why it's so bad. What's going to happen is this. It's basically the way to legitimize the illegal seizure of Russia's foreign assets. And where are those assets going? Well, they're going to be recycled into the Western military-industrial complex and also superficially into reconstructing Ukraine. And why I say superficially is pretty much it's just meant to give certain Western companies an edge over their competitors in that regard. Why this is so disturbing is because in the run-up to any conflict anywhere in the world, whichever side the West supports is going to be the one favored through this lawfare mechanism. And what do I mean by lawfare? I mean the exploitation of legal means for advancing political, strategic, military, and whatnot, other type of ulterior ends. How this is going to work in practice is thus. Whenever there is going to be a conventional conflict between two countries, the country that the U.S. does not support is going to immediately be accused of aggression. Immediately, a so-called coalition of the willing will create this type of registrar for documenting the destruction of physical infrastructure attributed to that side. And then the U.S. and its allies are going to also seize that country's assets abroad. They could even seize the assets of its companies. They'll do whatever they have to, or they'll at the very least put a so-called lock or hold on its assets or that of its top companies within their legal jurisdiction until that country stops hostilities, withdraws, or basically unilaterally concedes on its objective national interest as its leadership understands them to be, okay? Now, why this can boomerang, and this is what is quite interesting, is because, think about it, folks, the majority of the world was at one time or another colonized by Western countries, okay? The vast majority of the human population is the legacy of that, okay? Their ancestors were colonized, enslaved, and abused. They can also do the exact same thing to the West. Granted, it requires a lot of political will, but the precedent is established. Pandora's box has been opened, and I'm telling you, it'll never be closed again.